exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because there are so many things that I left un-
Hello and welcome everybody.
Playoffs and the momentum leading up to it is all but high at this point.
You have to go into every gunfight in this game, especially where trades are almost a necessity. A Seeker will come through and steal 3.
God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trade here on a Wednesday night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in here with some more Call of Duty action, but this is going to be the first time you've got some playoffs action coming at you. First one of the night, unfortunately, because of some earlier circumstances we'll get to later, but joining me on this is going to be big and tall Matt.
Hi guys. Well, tonight we had a good little show in here going on tonight. I've already everything went past my head, but I believe it is. You have to remind me of the teams once again, bro. Everything. My dog. Once again, Living Nightmare, I believe, going up against. No, I forgot. Knights Templar.
Knights Templar versus Monolithic Gaming.
Monolithic.
Indeed.
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, my dog's hardcore distracting me right now. But yeah, these two teams, honestly, throughout the season, a little drama going on right before playoffs. But other than that, hopefully we're going to see some great Call of Duty tonight, as always. But if you want to go ahead and bring over the Knights Templar crew real quick, see who they got tonight as we go to get things started. Now, like we said before, I believe you casted these guys real quick. You're at to enlarge those for me, Kyle, because I can.
Oh yeah, it's hard for me to read them too, if I'm honest.
D-Day, Mythic, Plasmid, I think, and XE. That's a little hard to read from here.
It really is. Yeah, maybe you need a bigger font on that one. But yeah, it's D-Day or D-Day, Mythic, Plasmid or Plasmid, XE. Those are the guys that are going to be coming in here for KT. I'm just trying to butcher the names as hard as I can. And now, coming in here with the MGE roster, it is going to be Frags World, Brixo, Fat Bobo, and Vowels.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a couple of these guys throughout the season, whether they've been on this team or not. Like you said, we do see quite a bit of the familiar names on both sides. But obviously, like we were just talking about, roster mania like crazy throughout the entire season, and even here in playoffs, we've been seeing it. But now going into the maps for tonight, we go ahead. We had a oh god, checkmate Moscow, checkmate Raid and Express. Ooh, a round 5 Express. That will be super exciting to go ahead and watch. But the typical hardpoint Raid we're going to be seeing, just this time it'll be map 4, and checkmate coming in for hardpoint number 1. Then Moscow, which is, I know Brett, if he's here in the chat, that's one of his favorite maps in this game. And honestly, it is a super exciting S&D map. And then we go ahead and we hit checkmate on Control. Now Control, I'm actually very surprised to see this one here. Usually it is kind of the Raid. That's kind of been the notion of just how things have been going with Control. But I'm very surprised to see that it is actually checkmate and not even Garrison at that. So especially since I feel like it's such a defensive sided map. But I mean, this map pool, it's a decent map pool for tonight. I'm a little upset we're seeing Raid and Express later on in the series, but to get things started, we're seeing checkmate twice at least in the Moscow once for that S&D.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too surprised here. I've been seeing a whole lot of things other than Raid on Control, especially recently. I think it's partially due to the change. People want to get those defensive heavy maps, but they want to, make it so that they can get them by doing good on the offense, which is a weird thing to think about. Matt, if you agree with me on that one, let me know. But real quick, I've been seeing a whole lot of Garrison on this, and Checkmate, I'm not too surprised either. It's basically in the same ballpark as it.
No, yeah, I completely agree there, dude. Checkmate and Garrison. It's weird how you said that. Like, oh, it's like we're gonna pick more of the defensive side of maps, but now it's like you get an advantage for being a really good offensive team compared to a defensive team, as how it should be, in my opinion, because we've seen a lot of these maps, Raid being the most like even map possible, but even yet it's almost like that 70-30, like 60-40 kind of situation. But it does award really strong offenses. And I mean, a lot of the teams, the tick advantage hasn't really been too big of a deal throughout the games at the K7 that I've noticed. I don't think we've actually seen a round 5 in control yet since those rules have been brought up. But I don't know. It's playoffs now. Anything can happen. And I'm super excited to hopefully see those ticks come into play. But hopefully, we're going to go ahead and get started here soon. I do believe everybody is in the lobby. Obviously, just waiting to go ahead and get everything to go. Maybe not. Does look like we're missing one. I totally lied.
Yeah, we are just waiting on one single player here, Matt, as we do come back to us. Now, one last thing we can go over here, I suppose, is, as I just said, we're bringing it back to us. We'll go real quick to the good old playoff bracket. Just a little bit of a misnomer here, ladies and gentlemen. We did not get to update the fact, because it happened so recently, that Hyped Esports has taken a forfeit victory over Living Nightmare Esports because of some roster woes. But now we're going to have to see Knights Templar versus Monolithic. Give me your pick'ems for the bracket here,
all right,
Matt.
This is what I'm seeing. So, honestly, if I'm going to see an upset, I think... All right, let me do this first. So, Hyped Esports already beat Heartbreakers. I do feel like Heartbreakers is going to be Hyped, but I think if any match is going to be the upset, it'll be that one for some reason. I then have Valiant beating Finale. I have Indie beating Rated, and I have NT beating the winner of this no matter what. NT has been a solid roster. I'm not too sure what the situation is with Carl, but I heard Carl got added to the team. Apparently, he might have been dropped. Not too sure about that.
Yeah.
If Carl's in the chat, please let me know, or any NT guys. But honestly, I'm going to say my final two, and I think we both agreed, is going to be Valiant and Indiana Syndicate if the rosters have stuck from the regular season.
Yeah, from what I've heard, though, Indiana Syndicate does have a brand spanking new 4-man roster, which is crazy to think about because the other 4-man roster was doing incredibly, incredibly well. So why you would change that is a little bit beyond me. It couldn't have been because of their performances, because then you wouldn't change it. Anyways, obviously. Yeah, if we're going on just anticipation of upsets here, I would say that KT wins tonight. They go on to beat Natural Talent. That's going to be my big upset for the bracket. That's my upset for the bracket. And then, I don't know, man. Depending on how Indiana Syndicate does the new one up against Rated Gold, I think it's going to be a toss-up in the semifinals between Knights Templar and whoever wins out of that one. But I think the top side of the bracket is pretty much going to go exactly how we think it is. And then Valiant is going to take out Heartbreakers by just a little bit for a... Obviously, we always thought that Valiant Gaming was going to be in the finals no matter what. But yeah, hey, I think it's going to be a tough one for everybody going up and through into that point.
Yeah, it's a real shame, though, that the end of the season happened the way it did, because honestly, the final two could have been Valiant and Heartbreakers, and that's what I could have told you. That would have been a solid championship matchup right there. But since, the FF happened, Valiant now getting placed in the upper bracket and not the lower bracket out of the two. And now we're going to have to see these guys face off each other, possibly in the semifinals if both games obviously go in their way. And there is no losers bracket to this, the K7 tournament right now that's going on. So they're the best of 5, one and done, But honestly, we're going to get a high caliber matchup anyways if we see the Heartbreakers Valiant Gaming game happen, obviously. But like you said, Heartbreakers still have to play the Hyped, actually. And like we said, Valiant still has to play Finale. And honestly, like we were talking about, if there were any roster changes, that could break the chemistry. That could break all thoughts and opinions that we had going into tonight or going into just the playoffs in general. So I don't know.
Yeah. One thing to add on the roster changes aspect is that JH unable to play for Valiant Gaming because of some time constraints or something like that. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is, but bottom line, he's not playing. And they had to pick up a little bit of a substitute in their substitute spot, and he is going to be playing in his stead. But, I mean, we've seen them play with substitutes before, Valiant Gaming, so I don't think they'll be struggling it too hard. Heartbreakers, on the other hand, they have been sticking together steady Eddie for the entire season. They have not lost a single time. And I'm pretty sure they're the only team to have done that in K7 history across all games. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be a tough team to beat, but they could totally get the Atlanta phase treatment and do great up until the playoffs, and then just get a little bit of a heartbreaker, I guess you could say. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it does appear that everybody is ready, just having a little bit of interesting times starting up the host. But until we do get that going, ladies and gentlemen, we will be coming back at you in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Next time you see us, it'll be match time.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die. Looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly. If we scream no, this is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us roll till no one knows. We'll never grow. Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die. Looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly. If we scream no, this is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us roll till no one knows. We'll never grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with some checkmate on Hardpoint. This has been a map that I've really liked seeing, especially recently. A lot of teams making a lot of interesting plays. There's definitely a lot of things you can do with this map, Matt, but I mean, there are definitely some things that work more than others, as I'm sure everyone is about to find out.
I don't know. People have been trashing this map ever since it came out. I personally love this map. This is one of my favorite maps for hardpoint in general. People have to capitalize on the spawns a lot more on this map, I feel like, than others. Minus Apocalypse. I feel like Apocalypse is probably one of the heaviest spawn maps when it comes to hardpoint. But going into this one, obviously your money hill won't be number 1, but that number 2 spot all the way in the back yellow, those spawns there, if you do not flip for them ASAP, it will be trouble. But error.
Oh, I know exactly what you're doing there. Is that the curb your enthusiasm thing right there?
Perhaps.
I think it is. I don't quite know. But anyways, guys, a little bit of a lobby crash, I do believe. Don't know if that was just on our end. Yeah, I think everybody lagged out there. Unfortunate. But yeah, guys, we're going to be getting back in here any second now. Things like this do happen, but hey, we're pushing right on through, and it doesn't really matter. Matt, back on topic with the game. Monolithic versus Knights Templar. Coming up and through and to this point, Knights Templar, they had a rough start to this season. We're going to do a little bit of backstory on them now, doing our due diligence as casters. They had a little bit of a rough time early on, but with the roster changes, as we saw with so many teams, it made differences. Bringing in people who have a lot more experience with the game, I'm just going to be flat out and in the open with that. They're better, and they have more experience, and good experience at that. So that's definitely been a good treatment for Knights Templar. Monolithic, they've been pretty much steady Eddie, same team, more or less, all the way through. And they've had moderate amounts of success, and that's why they're in the wildcard spot and not totally out of playoffs.
And I'm not too sure whose spot it was, the Valkyrie spot. I'm not too sure how that went down, but obviously they were taken out because no team for the last 2 weeks. And I believe it was Monolithic that actually was able to go ahead and get this spot, if I recall. If I think you or Vic probably would know more than I would about who that match was supposed to be played. But yeah, so another team did go ahead and get moved up, and they made it in. But it's going to be quite interesting to go ahead and see, obviously, how this one plays out. I saw people predicting, I saw one person or two people predicting a 3-0 coming from Monolithic. With Rybo gone, honestly, I could see that, honestly. Rybo being one of those star players on this KT roster, but unfortunately, the things that did go ahead and happen at the end of the season, I mean, it just couldn't be helped. Something had to be done, and that was honestly probably the best course of action that they could have had. And, I've done. So everything got settled. Week 1, KT going to have a bit of a crutch, but Rybo, hopefully his teammates can go ahead and make something of it. But, I mean going into this season, I'm not too sure. Or into this match.
That's an interesting that you bring up there, Matt, is that Knights Templar, especially in the final week before playoffs, the match that they had to play before the fated Valiant Gaming one, which didn't actually end up getting played, they did have a little bit of difficulties up against the team that they were playing, which I think was Hustle or God Gaming. I don't quite remember who it was, but it was a team that was very, very not in winning ways. And they did not look very dominant up against them at all, especially early on. And it was because mostly, in my opinion, Rybo wasn't there. They just seemed, with him, they have a whole lot of cohesion. They have direction. They have purpose. But without him, they just seemed to be a little bit more in disarray, able to get picked apart by, I would say, teams that don't necessarily have that level of organization as they would when they would have Rybo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know. I completely agree. Rybo, I mean, like you said, the organization, chemistry, all that is a huge part of this. And Rybo has been with this team for a while, not too from the start, but he was one of those superstar players on this roster. Is the difference going to be there? Whoever is subbing for him, is he going to be that difference maker? And it's going to be very interesting. And I was told that this is a bit funny. Talk about the upper bracket. Valkyrie's spot was given to Living Nightmare. Valkyrie did not have a team, and then Living Nightmare had to go ahead and FF because they didn't have a team. So that's a cursed spot. So that last wild card, I believe technically it's the third wild card. Technically, that is a cursed spot right now. You don't want to be the third wild card in the K7 league anymore. That is the new curse right there that I've just deemed upon us.
Yeah, what's it called? It's not round 7, but it's seed 7.
That's what I meant. Yeah, seeds technically, I think yes, depending on because top 4. No, it wouldn't be. Yeah, you're right. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's
5,
pretty
6.
Close, right? It's pretty close.
I think technically, I think 11 then. Pick the 11 seed. I don't know.
Seed technically.
No,
the unlucky 11, I guess we'll call it.
Unlucky 11. There you go for the rest of the K7 league. Forever and ever. That's the unlucky seed you don't want to be in when you're going into tournaments. But I mean, I don't know. Once again, I'm going to say it in chat. What is the natural talent roster going into this? Because I do want to know, Carl, because that'll make a difference on my predictions. Whether if I think, like I said, I think it's going to be Indiana Syndicate versus NT in the semifinals. But I really do see Indiana Syndicate coming up with the upset, winning 3-2, map 5, round 11 kind of situation. You know, I feel like they're kind of like I don't want to say the Florida Mutineers because they didn't win everything last season, but they are definitely one of those more underrated teams, in my opinion. At least the old roster, because like we said, apparently we got some info that there was a huge roster change. So I'm like everything I'm saying might be totally thrown out the window.
Total roster change, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's been tough because since Carl got picked up, I've seen him play a few matches with natural talent, and it's been various amounts of success. So I don't know. I did also see him post on the timeline that he is now an FA. I don't know if that's just in general and they're going to finish off the season, or if they are just done and they were able to pick up a last-minute person like, say, Crixus or whoever was still on their roster at that point. But yeah, it does appear that everybody is back up and in the game and more or less ready to go, Matt. We're just getting the okays from every single player from every single team and, just waiting to get this thing actually going.
Yeah, hopefully we can go ahead and get things started here because we're supposed to start, around that 10-15 mark is usually when that first match starts. And now already a tiny bit of delay. But it's Call of Duty. You can't help these things. It's online COD. But we go ahead. We fight through it. 5 maps tonight. 3 is minimum, 5 maximum. So it'll be very interesting. It's going to be definitely a stamina kind of thing. Who's going to be able to stay awake the longest before the G Fuel goes ahead and runs dry in their system,
I think you are vastly underestimating the average Call of Duty player. These guys stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning, Matt. So this is like nothing for them. They wake up at 5 o'clock. So most of these guys, they've only been awake for 5 hours right now. So let's just be totally honest here. If we're talking normal people, then yeah, you would be 100% correct. But Call of Duty players are a different kind of animal, especially combined with the G Fuel. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Now, it does appear that we have had a little bit of a lag out pre-start here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thought we were going to have more awesome action for you guys. We thought it was going to be starting, but unfortunate that it wasn't. When it does actually start, we'll come back at you with some action. So do not go anywhere, guys. It will, hopefully third time is the charm. We'll see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Call of Duty. We finally got it. Monolithic off to a great start with a nonsense, more than anyone off to a good start here. He's going for the ace off rip, and he totally gets it. He's got another guy to his right. He knows he is there, but he is way overextended and pushed his luck a lot. But Monolithic, speaking of pushing, they are starting this off really quickly. And once again, I am joined here by Big and Tall Matt.
Yes, sir. Finally able to get the game going. A bit of the split spawns going on, but now Knights Templar already going to be spawning out. Monolithic able to go ahead and flip the spawns early, all thanks to Nonsense of all people, starting things off with 4 kills. 3 kills, though, for Mr. Frags as well. So Monolithic already starting super hot with a just, you know, not a big money hill going on here, but you already see him setting up for next. They practically have already given up that hill, but not too much time. We'll go ahead and go into this hill, but like I've stated, they're already set up here. The kills are going to have to go ahead and come through very, very fast on the side of Knights Templar. If they want to go ahead and retake these spawns and go ahead and get onto this hill, it will be a 3-man push. One falls, D-Day able to find Nonsense, but Fat able to go ahead and get that trade out immediately. Frag's able to go ahead and find another, keeping them alive in this hill. 3 players on it. Number 4, Nonsense, did go ahead and spawn out, though, so it will be interesting to see how they spawn. They are actually going to go ahead and spawn all the way opposite side of the map. So Knights Templar are doing a good job so far trying to break this hill. With still 30 seconds left in this hill.
I mean, this isn't the worst thing ever for Monolithic if they can just, you know, even if they do lose these spawns for this hill, they'll be in a great position if they can just get a little bit more time off of it. But you see, Knights Templar, they do get flipped right back on out, but I mean, it's basically a 50-50 situation from this point forward now, Matt. Knights Templar, they're holding the way out for Monolithic, and they can potentially get themselves set up for some good payback time on these next couple of hills, as I like to call it. But at the same time, Monolithic, they're not really hemmed in very much either by Knights Templar's positions because of how hastily they've had to put it together.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this right now. Knights Templar sitting over here on the hill trying to get as much time as they can, but kills will go ahead and go through. Mr. Frags World won't even bother pushing this hill, waiting for his teammates to go ahead and get down there. But he will go ahead and be put in engagement here. Double engagement. D-Day will go ahead and find him, but immediately traded out. XC will go ahead and find Nonsense, but a lot of back and forth. But it will be Monolithic coming on top with 3 kills in a row. Now going to go ahead and give them the majority of this hill, 75 and counting up to Knights Templar, 29 to Evil. If you only could hold that for a little bit longer, was going to be able to find a kill, but we'll go ahead and get taken out. 2 players down for Monolithic as the players go ahead and rush this hill. 16 seconds left. You do see Monolithic starting to set up frags. It's going to be the first one here with this team spawning yellow. Will they go ahead and be able to get any other crosses? The 2 Evil's actually going to try and make something happen. Not going to happen. Taken out early. Bobo finding 1, able to get taken out, but here is a double kill coming from the side of Knights Templar. 2 out of the 4 players now down. D-Day getting in here, destroying 2 trophies now. That's huge for them, but now he will go ahead and be all set up, actually. His teammates will be surrounding him. 2 players on top of plane, so total control up there. As I said, Mythic does go ahead and drop down, but it will be XC up there and all the way in the back of the alley. Plasmid probably posted up with an AR if I could assume anything. But Evil looking to find a kill on the XE. A nice little 2-piece coming from XE. Looking to go ahead and keep that streak going on. He's doing extremely well right now. 7-9 for him. And I lied, completely getting taken out there. But so far, Knights Templar doing a good job bringing things back. With still 22 seconds left on the hills, the test goes ahead and comes through.
Yeah, I mean, D-Day, he's the one that really made it happen. He does die on our screen right now, but that hold would not have been possible without him. There were 2 Monolithic players stacked up and ready to go. They were so ready for this push, but apparently not a push from the back as D-Day comes in, totally breaches in, and demolishes everything they had going there. And Knights Templar, they're going to get a nice little setup for this next one as well. This is the hardest, I would say, hill to break, not just on this map, but one of the hardest hills to break in the game in general, just because you basically need a way to get this guy off the objective. Exy, he's just sitting here chilling like a villain. Granted, he doesn't have any trophy systems, so he might be in trouble there. And now some good picks from Monolithic are getting them some easy access into the objective, so it's a lot more contestable than we thought. Fat Bobo come in here with 3 in a row as well. Definitely not hurting. He's trying to flip out these spawns here as well, just because he knows how detrimental they can be to your success if you don't have them. But at the same time, Knights Templar, this isn't a bad time to lose spawns either. They are still in a position where they can get some time off of this next hill and the one after that, if they can just keep this control that they have right now, Matt.
Yeah, honestly, Monolithic doing a solid job, but like you've stated, Knights Templar, it's still an extremely close match as well. 127 and counting up to the 98. Knights Templar did a good job keeping this a 50-50 hill the first time we saw it, but it was total Monolithic control going into hill number 2. But 2 Evil with a big double kill to go ahead and get this hill started. Now 1 HP. We're going to go ahead and Ego Chow. Not going to be able to get it, but the trade comes out. Frag's going to be able to find 2 as well. That'll be all four players down for Knights as the respawns will go ahead and come through. Still in favor of Knights Templar for the next hill. Nice little shot whack going through and some team damage. Plasman finding Mythic, but D-Day going to go ahead and answer back with 2 kills of his own. Evil on the 1, Plasman another, trying to break these spawns, not going to be able, or keep the spawns, I should say. Monolithic now looking for their respawns to be there, but Templar are doing a great job just holding it down, holding the line, and they are also soaking up, not able to soak up any of this time, but excuse me, I said Monolithic. Mythic making his way on over with a double kill. And I believe he's only going to have 1 more player left to challenge. He will go ahead and get taken out, but it will be Knights Templar set up for yellow.
Yeah, Monolithic, that was just a very good attempt at what they did in the first round, but did not work out nearly as well. Knights Templar, they hold strong the second time around. They are improving as the game does go along. Now, they can totally catch Monolithic off of this one, but what really matters here, Matt, is not only the fact that they can hold onto this and get a solid amount of time off this in comparison to Monolithic. What really matters is that they can find themselves a little bit of a way out of it. Plasman, he's thinking long-term. He's already starting to do that right here, right now, but it's coming at the expense of getting a lot of contest time going on here and losing it as well. 2 Evil and the guys, this is some time that they would really love to have as well. And yeah, this is a little bit more scrappy than Knights Templar would want it. Granted, they can still get out of here and make it a very competitive game, but Monolithic definitely not making it easy on them.
Yeah, and I'm just honestly, I'm just really happy to see this is some really, really good Call of Duty. But like you just said, Plasman, it does look like he's got some streaks in his pocket that will definitely come in handy for not this hill, but well, not really the next hill either. For hill 4, actually, those will come extremely handy unless they can go ahead and get total control of the bottom. They can go ahead and get them respawned out, wait a few seconds, call it in, get the intel, get some kills, and get another wave of kills, giving him even more times because this one is one of those not so money hills, but. If you can go ahead and take these scrap hills and turn them into a money hill, that is obviously huge on your side because then, I mean, look where the next one is after this one. Literally a couple feet to the right as Plasman goes ahead and uses his arty, able to go ahead and find 2 Evil. And look, that's now 4 down. Yep, there you go. And now, like I just said, they turned a scrap hill into a money hill. This is a lot of free points for the side of Knights Templar. And like you said, we have a competitive match here tonight, Kyle. This is a really good game.
It is starting to get really, really good here as Knights Templar catches Monolithic after all this time. 2 Evil, he does get a little bit of a spawn out, but it's going to be not one that can't be righted by Monolithic basically instantaneously. Now, they do lose the mid-plane control, which is going to be detrimental to them if they want to hold on to this long-term, and yeah, in the short term, they actually lose it. So, Knights Templar, they're in a great position to seal this one out. Plasmid, as you can see here, still got streaks. But 2 Evil and the guys, they're not, again, they're not going to let it happen. They're not just going to let it happen. Nonsense. He's been dying a whole lot here, but he's just been putting his body on the line for his team, and he does not want to see this one go anything other than a victory for his team right now. They do get spawns back here, and assuming that they can get a little bit of contest time here to prevent Knights Templar from getting too far in the lead, they'll be good. Actually, spawns going left, right, and center. They just got to make sure that this next hill is a very scrappy one here, Matt.
Yeah, honestly, that has to. But now the hunt goes ahead and goes on for Bobo, who actually got up in tower. I was actually very surprised to see that. That's not something you see too terribly much, like just in general when it comes to competitive Call of Duty on this map. That tower is completely unutilized. Really only in Surge it's really utilized, in my opinion. But it was very interesting seeing Bobo able to go ahead and keep Knights Templar off there just a little bit. But now here we go. 3 down for the side of Monolithic. Make that 4. But nobody's on this hill. They're not capitalizing. They wasted some time there. Now if they lose by 2 or 3 seconds, I know who to blame. But anyways, going back into it. Only 8 seconds left. Knights Templar in control. 5 more left. And honestly, right now, I think they're just playing for KDs right now. I don't see anything happening. Plasma to go ahead and end on a 5 streak. And honestly, what looked like to be Monolithic's map got completely turned around after I believe it was Plasma got those streaks on, I believe it was hill number 3 for the second time around. So a great job by Knights Templar. That 3-1 in the chat, that's still very possible. But now we're going to go ahead and go into a Moscow S&D. And I don't know. These teams seem just dead even, in my opinion. They're both really good.
Yeah, both looking very, very good tonight, Matt. But yeah, like you said, on a map that you don't typically see streaks making the worlds of difference that we see on other maps, man, oh man, did they get a whole lot of value out of those. 2 for each streak. And they came at incredibly great times. Like, in order to get themselves out of the position that they were in, which Monolithic could have just clamped down on them, made it a scrappy hill on P3, and then just locked down on the next couple of hills, they just did not allow that to happen at all. They got a full team wipe, got in positions, and they just utterly wrecked Monolithic from that moment forward. And now, another thing I really have to mention is right there at the end, Mythic coming over the top and wiping clean the slate of the hill, and then going in and holding them up, and then killing them with the streaks. If I gotta say anything, Mythic, man, that is something that really, really set them apart in that game. Is not just the streaks, but just him in general, getting in great positions to get the kills.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go off of Shifty's data in the chat real quick. Nonsense opened up with that 4-piece, that ace, right? He actually ended up going 14 and 29 there at the end.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that for a lot of Monolithic players, and that
it was a hot start. It really was.
It was the hottest of starts, but the hardest of finishes, I guess you could say. But yeah, another thing I wanted to point out was there was a player that was like 9-1 at one point, and then next time I looked at him, going from a 9-1 to like a 9-6, it was a tough sight to see. It just goes to show you that Knights Templar, they might have started off a little bit tough without their main IGL and Ribo, but they can still get stuff done. They really can get stuff done, Matt. They just got to make sure that they kind of internalize what Ribo tells them even when he's not there. That is the sign of good leadership, is when they follow you even when you're not present.
And as soon as you say, like, Ribo, the missing link or whatever, he shows up in chat. So happy of the outcome of that map. I love Call of Duty. As soon as you got done saying that statement about Ribo. And I just love that Call of Duty timing that we all know and love. But guys, getting into Moscow now. And I mean, I mainly talked about it with Brett a lot. It's not so much of a-sided map anymore. Teams are experimenting, going streets or even mid to streets, mid to statue, whatever you want to go ahead and call it. And playing that B side, the AR presence obviously being a lot more notable over there than it is on A at times. A lot of those close quarter engagements do happen. One true AR engagement over there on the A site, but I mean, I'm hoping to see more of the B plays here, because I mean, it is kind of a bit more of an entertaining site because we really just don't see it too terribly much. But I have a feeling both these teams, if I recall, they're both decent S&D teams. I believe Ribo was actually part of that. Like, he was a bit of a backpack player for, on these S&D. So it was, it's going to be questionable to see what Knights Templar can go ahead and do without Ribo, like the backpacker, the hard carry, what I'm going to go ahead and say. But I mean, it's Moscow, so I'm expecting a lot of those A rushes, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing a whole lot of those, regardless of the region, regardless of the level. A does seem to be the favorite site on this map, especially when you've got strong subs. But the thing is, on both sides, you got some pretty strong ARs as well. So you might be seeing some mid pushes, you might be seeing some B pushes, you might see a little bit of trickery and tomfoolery going on here, Matt, and I think that is definitely what we are about to see. I would be very surprised if we just saw just dead hits to A every single time, and we might have a little bit of a lag out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite totally sure. The game has just been taking a little bit of a long time to start. But anyways, Matt, things that'll put Knights Templar over the top and things that'll put Monolithic over the top. Tell me them right now.
Putting me on blast already. All right, so obviously Knights Templar, we keep saying it. Are they going to be able to find that missing link with Ribo? I mean, so far we saw it that first map. They did a really good job without the help of Ribo. So they have to go ahead and keep that momentum, keep that just aggressive energy. And honestly, with S&Ds, it's really weird. If you start off slow and then obviously you win you're 0-2, then you can bring it back 4 in a row. I mean, if that does happen, got to keep that momentum going. I think they need to go ahead and start hot and not start cold, because like I said, they are coming off that momentum thing, and it does look like we're going to have a bit of a server issue, so it will be a reset there. But going into Monolithic, you guys got to shut them down early. You can't let anything exciting happen. You can't let the hype get there. You can't let it get to them, because they're going to take that motivation, all that. I can't even think of the word. There's usually a word I'm looking for.
All the impetus.
That works, I guess. They can't let all of that hit Knights Templar early, or I feel like that momentum that they already had is just going to skyrocket them to 4 or 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, for those of you guys that did not see the first round, it is Knights Templar currently in the lead. It is 1-0 going into the second map in Moscow, Search and Destroy. It was a pretty tight-knit affair from my personal account, I guess you could say. As much as, like, it wasn't necessarily within, like, 50 points, but I would say it was still pretty close all the way through. But Knights Templar, after the streak usage, they just got themselves into positions where Monolithic, they were just walking into great setups from Templars, and they were able to just muscle their way steadily but surely through on into a position where they could not be broken out by Monolithic Gaming. Now, it was a little bit scrappy there towards the P5, and Monolithic did get there initially because of how late Knights Templar had gotten to the spawns of P5, but, I mean, it just really did not help that Mythic just had the beamer on him tonight, dude. You know what I'm saying? He killed the guy off the hill, he killed the guy in the plane, and he just, as soon as that happened, the guys who were trying to reinforce, he just smashed them down with a cruise missile. So, yeah, main man Mythic going in huge tonight. Speaking of which, guys, I do believe everybody, including Mythic, is going to be in here now, as we've got Moscow, Search and Destroy loading up. Matt, do we have any predictions as to the scoreline? I asked you what these teams need to do to win, but will they do it? What will the scoreline be?
It's always very hard because I'm usually wrong about this. So I'm going to go ahead and say it because what I saw map number 1, I do believe Knights Templar will go ahead and win this 6-4. I will go ahead and say that, but like I said, I am usually way wrong about these S&D predictions. Like, just for some reason, I am like the curse. Like, if I say, hey, you're gonna win this, no, you lose. It's happened. Really, obviously, with the blowout matches it happens, but I don't know. What do you think, Kyle?
I was gonna say 6-3 KT with Monolithic taking a lot of the earlier rounds, but you see it's going pretty back and forth right now. One coming around the back, Mythic gonna be frying one, Frags World gonna be holding it down through into the end, and now his teammates are gonna be, one of his teammates are going to be alive with him. Xy's teammates, however, not totally as alive as the Monolithic players' teammates. And now they're going to be going through the spawn, rotating on through to B. They seem to have a feeling that Xy is somewhere other than watching that other area right here. He could get some good timing here, but what he's really got to do is catch these Monolithic guys a little bit separated, which he does. Takes down one, knows where the other one is. He shows no fear, and he goes right on through and fries nonsense as he's trying to position adjust. Great stuff from Xy, and apparently my prediction wrong so far, at least in part, about them taking the early rounds, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like one of those just like MVP plays that I was talking about where they couldn't give up early. It was an extremely fast round for the first 5 kills, and then you have these last 3 players, 6, 7, and 8, and Xy comes out in 1v2s this after. I'm surprised he actually didn't rechow that. Knowing his HP, I believe it was just below half. He might have been in the middle of regen, but honestly, that's just one of those situations where it's 50-50. You run or you stay and fight. He might have got a glimpse of him running into that side room. I'm not too sure. He did go ahead and just turn and shoot, but honestly, it was well played coming from this side of Xy. Now going to be up 1-0 as we go ahead and head over to the second round now.
Yeah, I guarantee you I can hear the comms of Monolithic Gaming, even though they're not in here and we're not listening to them. It's, why would you rechow that? And at Xy, exactly, why would you rechow that? No, most players would be a little bit too timid, want to play their lives a little bit more, especially in a 1v1 situation, but sometimes you need to expect the unexpected, in that Xy, I guess he just knows his opponent a little bit better than his opponent knows himself. He gets a hit marker on Frags World, forces him out, but he retreats right back into the path of his own teammates. They can totally get a trade if it does come through, but at the end of the day, Monolithic getting that bomb down for the post plant.
Yeah, now Evil wasn't able to go ahead and see one. He is ever going to be able to find Plasmid there. That's actually a huge kill, getting that early on. 35 seconds left on the bomb. 4v3 numbers still in favor of Monolithic. Evil looking for another, not going to be able to do it, but Bobo will go ahead and find D-Day. Mythic does find Evil, and now Fat Bobo going to be able to find Xy, and now it's going to be Mythic and a 1v3. And we're going to see another MVP caliber play, but he's got somebody outside of his window. Won't matter, though. Frags will go ahead and make his way on in. And now we're going to see Bobo with a 2-streak going on and the defuse coming from the bomb. And honestly, Monolithic, that's a great way to go ahead and shut things down, but a little bit of back in for early already. And honestly, not too bad of a round coming from either of these guys. Obviously, just Bobo going huge here with this Craig and just getting the positionings that he needed. He got the intel where Mythic was as well. I believe he was the one that threw the nade into the room as well. And then just cleaning it up there, giving them the advantage. Now going to be 1-1 heading into round number 3.
Yeah, the interesting there for Monolithic is how not only how fast they were able to rotate, but just how quickly they were able to just work together and just keep each other alive to where they just did not lose any early deaths. And as soon as... It's a thing that is said by me a lot, especially, that whenever you stagnate on the attack and you don't have the manpower advantage, then it's basically a matter of time before your opponent does something to make you lose. Plasmid going to catch 2 evil pretty much instantly here, and with Xe coming around the back, could lead to a little bit of bloodshed here, Matt. But yeah, like we've been saying, stagnating here could be a little bit disastrous for Monolithic if they don't get a counterfrag as a result of their patience.
Yeah, and there we go. Xe able to find 1, and that's not what Monolithic needed. Now going to be a 4v2. I don't know if he got the intel that the bomb was dropped or not, but that was a big kill coming from Xe way in the back. And now look at this. Bobo and Nonsense are just staying put. They are not doing anything. They are waiting for Knights Templar to get a little bit,
I think he's actually
I'll say go ahead and a little bit antsy. That is going to be a lag out. D-Day goes ahead and leaves. We love it. The DC's happening. Plasmid's looking like he's having some trouble as well. Mythic, the only one, appears to be actually moving.
Yeah, right.
And, I mean, not too much that we can go ahead and do. It will be another technical difficulty once again. We don't love to see it.
You really don't like to see it. I don't know if we can really call that route for Knights Templar because there were still 2 alive. Granted, it was a 4-2 situation. But could they have done something in return to that? I mean, maybe. It's always possible, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going to happen now as everyone is out of here. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a resetting of the old lobby here, Matt. It's really unfortunate the amount of issues we've been having tonight, but I mean, hey, it comes with the territory. But I mean, so far when we've been having, gameplay when it's like as crisp as it gets, both teams have been looking pretty solid.
Yeah, and honestly, the S&D did kind of look like it was going to go ahead and go back and forth. Knights winning 1, Monolithic winning 2. The Knights probably was going to go ahead and win that 4v2 there. I'm not too sure what the rules are for the reset, Kyle. If you do know, please remind me. I believe we're just going to go ahead and probably start over 1-1, even though it probably
is 1-1.
Would have been it will be a 1-1 restart. That sounds about fair there. So a little bit of an upset moment there for Knights Templar. They could be up 2-1, and I could only imagine the uproar in the Gulag chat if Monolithic does go ahead and bring this back and wins this by a round. So we go ahead and just say stay tuned to that one for there. But going back to this S&D we saw earlier, it was Bobo who with that Craig and that presence on street side when they go ahead and get the bomb down. That was huge. And honestly, just if we're going to play that B side, that's what needs to be there, that AR presence, whether it's in the top police station, I believe, or it's even just straight up on the street like we saw. So if they can go ahead and keep that up on the offensive side of things, I could probably see probably Monolithic taking that one, honestly. I know I said NT. I said KT at first, 6-4, but now I don't know.
I mean,
after seeing just those 2 rounds,
K and N pretty close to each other in the alphabet, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there on that one, Matt. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be starting this one back up very, very soon. We've got 7 out of 8 players in the lobby, but Matt, based on what we've seen so far, cracks in the armor, and I guess you could say things that are good for both teams, I would say that Knights Templar, they looked pretty dang good, especially when their opponent stagnates out. They do a very good job at opening up new fronts. Granted, that was the main thing that hurt them on their attacking round, was the fact that they were all kind of condensed into one spot, and Monolithic actually did that very well. But so far on their 2 defenses, I would say they've done a very good job at just expanding their area of influence into the areas that Monolithic are just leaving neutral. And they're making good usage of that by going on flanks, getting shots in the back, just, opening up new areas of attack, getting crossfires. It's just really good stuff coming out from both teams when it comes to expanding the fronts.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like to maybe simplify it a little bit in my terms.
Sure.
The AR presence is a bit stronger on the Monolithic side, but like you said, Xe, I believe it was Xe there at the end of that round, he was getting tricky with it with that AK-74U coming up from behind. So honestly, if KT can go ahead and keep up with those force-a trick plays, I don't know. They're gonna, like I said, it's gonna be back and forth in my opinion. They're gonna have to go ahead and take a round off of the offensive side / defensive side 2 in a row, and it's gonna be very interesting to go ahead and see how that's gonna go ahead and wrap up. But the when the post bomb plant, Monolithic did go ahead and look solid, but honestly, it's just 2 rounds. It's really hard to go based off that info. But the sub presence is known on KT, and the AR presence is known on Monolithic already. I can go ahead and say that for sure.
If we're talking about post plant, Knights Templar, I would say they look just as good on the post plant on defense as Monolithic did at post plant on defense. Like Monolithic, as soon as they got the post plant on their defense, it was a 4v4, but in the case where they planted the bomb on their offense, it was a 2v1. So I would say both teams doing equally good in post-plant situations. Mythic can be pushing up very, very hard here. He's got 2 people right up in his line of sight, and he is probably not going to want to push up and just... Oh, that's a wall-bangable spot. Okay. I did not know that. Putting it to good use, but sight control well and truly lost.
Yeah, and the trade does go ahead and go through, and it will be Plasmid able to find 2. Nonsense getting it. Like, he was just flying out of there, dude. He was having none of that nonsense coming from KT. Now they know where the bomb is, and once again, look where Xy's at, dude. Imagine if Monolithic would have stayed where they were at. This dude was on the flank, but now he might go ahead and get pinched just a little bit here. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes. The engagement might be happening. Definitely did not hear each other checking both ways before he crossed, but Nonsense did not check all the way. He's Xy able to find 1. And it will be all up to Fat Bo. That Craig, we saw some action there earlier. And now he's going to be hunting down. They know where the bomb is. I'm pretty sure they do, at least. Plasmid probably has sights on the bomb as he goes ahead and makes his way up the staircase. Maybe able to find something getting shot at. Now the call will go ahead and come through. All the arrows on the mini-map making their way back towards A. And now here comes the support. All they have to go ahead and do is 2v1 this, and there you go. The trade goes and happens. A good effort coming from Bobo, but not going to be enough as the series now goes up 2-1 in favor of Knights.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. After the restart, we're going to be seeing basically a mirror-perfect play from the last time. It basically changed absolutely nothing. Knights Templar, they got themselves in a position to win it very, very handily. Xy, he literally executed the same exact play going around the back. Didn't find anybody that time because, I mean, Monolithic, they were just trying a little bit of something different going down from mid-play, but it's very tough losing that bomb early on. Knights Templar seems like they're going for a little bit of a similar strategy, but thinking they can do it just a little bit better than their opponents can. I guess that's the full test here to see if they can execute the same play, but better than their opponents. Mythic coming in here. Him and his teammates are going to fry one. Fat Bobo in a world of trouble. And he is down for the count. Rotations coming out from Monolithic, but KT well and truly have strong sight control.
Yeah, right now, so like there you go. Nice. They're able to find another one, and there you go. All four players still up. A flawless victory coming from KT. And that was the 2 rounds in a row that I was saying that KT needed to go ahead and get, obviously, in favor of avoiding that round 11. Now going to be 3-1. That was just such a good sight play there. Very good, just positive energy, obviously. Hopefully coming from their bench. I'm sure they're all freaking out in chat right now, or in their TeamSpeak, whatever the heck they're in their Discord. That was a great round there coming from KT. Now up, like I said, the 3-1. And Monolithic, since the restart, has only found 2 kills. 2 Evil and Bobo, both going to be able to find both of them. But Bobo, I believe, has done a little bit more. I think he's actually almost got 3 kills in total, judging off of his damage that I saw earlier. Probably just about 2, but that won't really matter because, you know, kills are kills, and that's what wins you the rounds, not the damage. CS, but Plasmid able to find the early kill there, and oh god, they're going to be in a 4v2, I believe, as the kills go 4v3, but now it's going to be a 2v3 as the kills go ahead and follow through. Plasmid, Xy are going to be the last 2 up. Monolithic, Bobo, World, and Nonsense. Here we go. Xy, this is the 3rd time on the defense he's done this play, and now this time he's going to be in a 1v3. The bomb is not planted yet. So anything can happen. The bomb can still go ahead and make something happen here. Xy able to find 1. If he goes ahead and gets his full regen, this is going to be scary. Monolithic, I'm terrified for you right now, dude. I do not trust Xy. He's 4-0 since the restart. Back and forth. The shots are going through. And Bobo is not getting aggressive. He's not actually helping his teammate. Bobo is just hanging back. And there we go. Oh, shots going through. Half HP once again. Xy got to make something happen here. But here we go. And one of those pinchable spots. Got to look to your right. You got to clear that corner in full, and he doesn't. Costing him his life, and Monolithic will go ahead and take a round now 3-2. And honestly, if I could not imagine what would have happened if he would have fully checked that corner, because the path that he was on looked like he was going to be able to find Bobo there, dude. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like that, but I think they kind of picked up on the fact that Xe likes to go on the flank now, because you see, as soon as it got to a certain point, they knew that there was that guy back inside of the spawn of Knights Templar. And they're like, hey, so we don't know where this last guy is, might be on the flank, but either way, even if he is with him right now, let's just full hit this guy out. We know where he is. He can't really do much in this position, so let's just get site control well and truly and make it even harder for them to retake. So, yeah, coming into this now, Knights Templar, they have looked pretty good on the attacking side so far. Mythic getting the trade, but more going the hands of Monolithic, but Mythic, he's looking good right now until the final kill does come in. Man, that was an absolute quickie, as I like to call it, Matt, and it is now 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3, and that, like you said, that back and forth, 2 in a row for KT to start now, 2 in a row for Monolithic after losing those first 2. And this is pretty much what we kind of saw in the S&D. It was just a lot of back and forth till Knights Templar went ahead and streaked up and they pulled away. But right now, both teams on an even playing field. Possibility for streaks coming from Nonsense, now 3-0 in this life, now 3-2 for this restart, these 4 rounds, excuse me. But honestly, looking like I said, dead even.
Round 7, Matt.
Oh, is it round 7?
It's
you're
technically
right.
round 7, which brings into
God.
the wheelhouse a whole new kind of things. This is going to be the curse moment. The curse of all curse moments in the momentum shifter. Nonsense does get the better of Mythic without one of his teammates going down, but they get in the optic spot and they all go down. And just like that, Xe on the flank again. He's going after Fat Bobo, who's well and truly within his line of sight. Frag World, literally in a not so great position. He knows that Xe is behind him, but Xe doesn't necessarily know he's there until he sees him looking the wrong way. And round 7 going to the hands of Knights Templar.
Yeah, dude, it's
The optic spot.
it was the scary lineup. I had a flashback. You said that, I'm like, oh my god, what is he talking about? I'm like, oh my god, I know what he's talking about. Literally a few seconds before, and actually, I believe it's somebody's wearing that Roker skin as well. So it's called the accuracy skin for tonight. I actually believe it's Xe, but I do know it's somebody on KT that's running it right now. But nonetheless, another great round for Knights Temp. There it is. I was right. But it was Plasmid finding those kills. 8-2 from him. 6-2 from Xe, 2-4 from Mythic, but D-Day 0-3. But honestly, just the way that the positioning, D-Day has been baiting himself, doing a great job using his life up. Even though it says 0-3, I do feel like he's having a decent impact for his team. The trades are coming out, and it's obviously a very positive side of things. Look at this 4-stack A, and look where this bomb is going. It's currently going in the back. The stun will go ahead and come out. 3 players now going to rotate out back, and you do have Frags just chilling on the wall of their site on the T side of the stairs. Now he is going to be pulling a bit of an Xe. Now going to probably come up from behind. Nope, he's actually going to stay put. Bomb is going to go ahead, starting to get planted now. Bomb is now down. 45 seconds left for Monolithic Game to go ahead and find these kills. D-Day able to find the first one. Will he go ahead and predict Fat Bobo up in police? No, he won't. He will go ahead and take him out now. A 3v3 situation. All 3 players on the side of Knights Templar are currently set up in the bomb area, house, site, whatever you want to go ahead and call it. Now Xe looking to make some magic happen. Going to go ahead and get aggressive. Maybe no. Picks up one. He knows where he's at. Still a 3v3, but you got to turn around there, buddy. Frags is coming up from behind. He's able to find one. Mythic also able to find one. And now coming out Plasma. Going to be able to find one. The shot whack going to come out, but it won't connect fully. Knights Templar will go ahead and now take 2 in a row in another beautiful, beautiful round. And it looked really scary there at first because it did look like it was going to be a hit because of the 4-stack coming from Monolithic, but KT switching up last second, going to the B site, and honestly just having 3 players in the hill, or at least eyesight or line of sight on the bomb. That was such a great round for KT.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched that last little gunfight with Mythic, I had flashbacks to Indiana Jones, where the player from Monolithic, I think it was Nonsense, just trying to pull out the fancy fisticuff moves, or in the case of Indiana Jones, he had a sword, and then Mythic just dodges it and just shoots him. But yeah, anyways, that was a great little hold from Knights Templar. The difference is from the last time they did that same play, they got a kill to not allow Monolithic to push in with the same amount of strength as they did. And now, they've got a nice little trade, not even a trade, Xe going down, and a whole lot of ground to be held for Knights Templar as a result of that. Monolithic, if they can get another trade here, not even a trade here, get another kill here on Mythic, that would be absolutely huge.
Yeah, and usually Mythic going to be able to find that early one there for frags, but usually it is Exy who's the one on the flank doing all these trick plays, but this time it will be Plasmid, won't be able to pay off. He has the intel of now 2 of the last 3 players on the side of Monolithic, all 3 of them cooped up in the apartment building right now. What's going to be able to happen here? They're going to go ahead and come out. Mythic probably going to be able to find one at least. There he is. Run off now. Now going to bring this dude 2v2. Mythic, you got to turn around, buddy. You know they're coming for you. D-Day, you got to get here to support as well. And this is going to be very intense 2v2. First shots will go through. Steve, we're going to be able to find Mythic. There you go. D-Day able to find Bobo. And now it's going to be D-Day in a 1v1. He's not going to be able to connect. The shot whack was about to come out, but not going to happen now. Oh, boy. We got ourselves another series.
Oh, we really do, Matt. It is now technically 5-4, so your estimation might be spot on. And if it's not, I would be totally okay with that too, because that would mean it would be round 11 and the stakes would be even higher. But ladies and gentlemen, Monolithic going toe-to-toe with Knights Templar. Despite all the good stuff that they have been doing thus far in the game, the strong attacks and the big brain plays of just using the momentum of Knights Templar against them. Knights KT, they've been getting a little bit aggro on these pushes, especially Exy, if you do recall, ever since the beginning, he was being super aggro. Monolithic, they just sit back and let the defenders become the attackers and kill them all the way through. But you see, KT, they're going right on through, being aggressive again, and this time it's going to help them as they get some nice opening frags.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the opening frag's going to come in their favor, only losing 1 but gaining 2 kills now. Going to be a 3v2. Monolithic, like you said, they had their backs against the wall. It is match point for KT. It is a 5-4 scoreboard. Bomb going down. Another B plant. And D-Day, this is such a gamble play. They now know where each of the players are at. That Semtex will go ahead and connect. And now here we go. 36 seconds left. A 1v2. Mythic and Exy going up against Nonsense. It's going to be very interesting to go ahead and see how he plays this one with the Craig in hand. He does have Sending for You in his back pocket. Going to bring that out. They are currently split up, so the trade might be pretty difficult to go ahead and make happen. But first kill, Exy, the one shot, not actually able to connect on that. But the intel is there. He now knows where he's at. Bring around the Rosie, possible to come again. And no, Knights Templar are going to go ahead and take this SND as well. Now we're going to be up 2-0 in the series after winning that one 6-4. Surprisingly, I was able to predict it. That never happens. Like I said, usually it jinx. But now we're going to be going back to checkmate for a control, Kyle.
Yeah, congrats, Matt. You got it spot on, and you did. You won up to me, in fact. You literally won up to me in the fact that you thought it was going to be one more round going into the hands of good old Monolithic than I thought it was. And it did. So, good prediction on that one. But still... does not mean that Monolithic gets any points themselves. It's going to be KT with all the map wins so far, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 2 maps so far, 2 for 2 on the night is KT. Now, going back into checkmate, it's going to be some control time. And what have we been seeing a whole lot of tonight? Both teams have been doing a pretty dang good job of breaking things down on the offenses, I would say. But the shortcomings for Knights Templar on their defenses has been that they have just been getting lulled, especially in the search and destroy, just getting lulled into a false sense of, oh, we're better than our opponents, like totally and utterly completely, to where we can just barrel stuff them on the defense and it won't really matter. And Monolithic, they kind of put that notion out of their minds just a little bit by letting them come at them and just piecing them apart one at a time. So bottom line here, Matt, is that Monolithic, both teams have been looking equally good in attacking situations going into a very defender-heavy map, which you can get the final defense on by being better at attacking, which is funny. But yeah, what the big Achilles heel for Knights Templar could be overpushing.
No, I completely agree with that one. They have to go ahead, and honestly, I'm okay if you guys can go ahead and wipe them out, setting one person up on checkmate to go ahead and chill out on yellow. Probably with an AR is usually the play, in my opinion, just from the luck that I've seen throughout the just challengers, just in the Pro League, CDL, and even in the K7 League, just having one player push up, either if he's running around tail and hole or he's just chilling yellow with that AR. That's usually the way to go. But I completely agree. Overextending more than one player is really, really tough to go ahead and do, because if you go ahead and you send 2 to overextend, they get double killed. Now it's going to be a 4v2 on that site. And honestly, the retake could be there. And especially if you don't get a tick. With now we live in a tick world when it comes to control, no longer a life world. And I'm actually very happy for the change, because it does award the offensive play style on the offense, as it should, because defense was already so stacked.
Yeah, really lessens the amount of pain you can receive for being aggressive. It does definitely award aggression. I love to see stuff like that, Matt. So, yeah, in the past, if you wanted to be aggressive, you would have to justify it with, we're going to get a lot of kills off of this push, or we're going to win this side off of this push. Now, you can say, hey, guys, not only can we get a lot of kills off of this push, we can also get the final defense by getting some ticks off of this push. Now, I've seen it to be where it can really put teams in a really, really annoying position of trying to, if they can't get a whole lot of ticks, Matt, then I've seen this a lot. Don't make fun of me for this. I've seen it in a position where teams cannot pass their opponents on ticks, so they have to go in and win the attack on a defender-sided map. Otherwise, they're going to have to win the attack in the next round. It's their best opportunity to do it, kind of. It basically puts you in a position where you have to win an attack no matter what. So, yeah, I think whoever gets this first attack might actually be in a little bit of a blessed situation to where they can set the tempo and the pace of the match by saying, hey, this is the bar we're going to set. The bar is no longer set by the defense, in my opinion. It's now set by the offense.
No, and that's how it should be for just how, like we said, how defensive sided these maps were, especially Checkmate, especially Garrison. Raid we could get away with. I feel like I said, it's about like that 60-40, 70-30 kind of area. But with a map like this, it's 80-20, 90-10, bro. It's so up there for how heavy the defensive sided things are. But AR presence is honestly the crucial one for Checkmate, in my opinion. You have the two, well, technically 4 long hallways. You have the one in plane, you got the one coming from the shoot house, you got alley, and then you got outside alley. I can't remember what the technical call out for there is, but you do have a lot of that AR presence that you're going to need. And honestly, control is one of the best examples of you need wing, you need plane control on both of these sites, especially, I believe it's the A site. That's the one that is for the crate/alley control point there. So playing control in ARs, and if Bobo can go ahead and keep up what he's doing with that AR, I don't know, Monolithic might be able to take this one, but I'm still going to bet that'll be I want to say 3-1 for KT, just the way that they've been playing, bud.
I think it's going to be 3-2. I can't say either way, but anyways, Matt, you were talking about long hallways. Basically anything, any angle on this map can be turned into a long hallway if you really think about it. That's the funny thing.
I thought about it. I'm like, I'm kind of
wrong. Yeah, so that really even puts even more emphasis on what you're saying being correct, in that Fat Bobo in the guys' Frags world, he's been looking pretty good so far, but especially in the Search and Destroy, Fat Bobo's been looking a little bit flat, I guess you could say, especially in comparison to Plasmid and like D-Day as well, who is breaking out the FFAR. I really want to see how he uses this.
Oh, yeah, that's actually very... Probably his own teammate, too. Plasma getting the first kill, but it will be on his teammate. Exy going to go ahead and get a double to get things started. Now it's going to be interesting how the defense will go ahead and play here. You already see KT already setting up everything plane-wise, but the trades we're going to go through, it will be a double kill for the side of Monolithic, and no time will go ahead and be grabbed just yet. I don't think I agree with the D-Day even touching that hill. I think getting the intel, they know where he's at, they know where to look now. But anyways, it's past this now. Frags and another player over there are going to be able to find another nonsense. I believe he was able to pick one up. Nope, that was Frags as well. But just, it's a lot of back and forth going on right now. KT, they're lagging a little bit behind. 3-1 for Exy, 2-2 for Mythic, and D-Day only 1-1. Those are the only kills they got. But on the other side, I mean, it's pretty even kill-wise. But with a tick already on the B site, I kind of, oh God, I really just don't know. 35 seconds left, and kills are going back and forth, Kyle.
Yeah, the thing is that with the amount of time and lives being expended so far, Monolithic has gotten a lot of bang for their buck. Nice Templar, they are now in a position where they have to push onto here and get them killed off of it, but at the same time, Monolithic, they can punish them for that. They really, really can, but so far it seems that Nice Templar are getting a little bit scot-free into this on their pushes. Mythic, making me almost eat my words there, but Mythic going to be holding it strong and now going to be pushing through around the back and could be punishing another assault. Gotta do a little bit quick, otherwise you could be seeing that tick going into their hands, which it does. And just like that, I would say that this has been a very worthwhile attack already from Monolithic. Getting 2 ticks, that's not an easy task by any means, Matt.
Yeah, I completely agree there. I mean, although I do believe this will go ahead and go in KT's favor, but I think Monolithic kind of came up on this offense in favor of themselves. Getting those 2 ticks on offense isn't entirely easy, especially since Usually the teams that are good at control are the teams that are able to blow the teams out of the water on control. So the fact that they were able to get 2 ticks kind of puts me in a boat saying, hey, KT, don't get me wrong, they had a good defense, but they also allowed 2 ticks. So they're not a 1,000%. They're not Atlanta FaZe being first place, in the control aspect of things. Well, at least for this matchup, I guess you could go ahead and say. So the 2 ticks in favor of Monolithic. Scoreboard says 1-0 in favor of Knights Templar, but right now, that round 5 is starting to look more and more favorable towards Monolithic.
I mean, so far, yes, Knights Templar, they've looked, I would say, just as good on their attack as Monolithic. The main thing is that who can push it through and get a coordinated push through enough to get more ticks and not get caught out on their defenses with, I don't know, overzealous pushes. Now, it's so far looking like Monolithic starting off a lot better than KT on their defense. And the fact that, I don't know, whereas Xe did go around the back and basically shut it down instantly, there wasn't really anything to shut down from the very beginning for Monolithic. Starting to find a little bit of picks here and there, and they're starting to find their way in onto A. Barring a quick rotation from Monolithic, which it doesn't seem like is happening just yet, they could be getting to that scoreline that they need to basically instantaneously.
Ooh. Too Evil not looking where he was supposed to. Didn't quite sweep the area first before he had to win the challenge. The person that was just sitting behind that crate. And now 1 tick was able to go ahead and go in favor of KT, but Monolithic able to stop it for now. But Frag's in a good spot right now. Like you said, Fat Bobo. What is he doing right now? He's all the way in the back right now. He will have to go ahead and land some of these shots. Able to take out one player that was trying to flank all of Plane. And now will he be able to land these shots? No, he is not. Plasma will go ahead and take him out. But A, 1 tick and a half completed. B now getting captured. Frag's not able to get that crucial kill. And he's still just going to be chilling on this hill. Look at this man, a 1-man army, Mr. Mythic. And nobody's there to contest. And now that's already 2 ticks. Now we're tied up in ticks if we hit that round 11. But the way that Mythic is playing right now, he is bombing and weaving, taking his time. We'll go ahead and get taken out, but Too Evil, will he be able to stay up as his teammate gets taken out? Able to find the 1. Very good on his part. Already weak, able to win that chow. But now looking over at this A site, dude. KT went ahead and captured it. The spoilers of that contest over at B. Now KT going to be up for this round. And now with a tick already on the side of B and the lives 19-16, still pretty close in the lives. A minute 20 to do it. Mythic hunting for this player. If find nonsense, will immediately go ahead and get traded out.
Yeah, the thing is that Knights Templar, they're just really getting in positions that Monolithic is leaving wide open. Like Plane, actually, he's just been going in here and they have not been addressing him basically at all. They just go right back on into the plane like he's not even there anymore, but he's definitely there. This is a power position. You think he's just going to leave because you haven't seen him for a while? No way, Jose. But yeah, now basically Monolithic, their scoreline that they had just gotten in the first round has been doubled by Knights Templar. This is, no matter how you cut it, a net benefit for Knights Templar. This is a great, above average attack. And it's going to put immense pressure on the next round for Monolithic, especially if Knights Templar can go through and get this. I don't know, I wouldn't even put it past them to take this attack. Like, all they have to do is just get one good push, this plane control. They're whittling away the lives, and if they can just do this just a little bit more, stop the time a little bit here, Matt, they will be in a position where they can win this attack outright.
Yeah, 18 seconds left. The timer will be stopped. You saw Bobo. Bobo was just chilling there silently, and he was able to go ahead and drop down and able to take a player out. Now 14 seconds left. Is anything going to be able to happen? D-Day able to find 1. Now could be able to find the 2nd, and now it will be up to Xe to go ahead and find 1 or 2 of these players to go ahead and help out his team. But we got to get on this hill, guys. Knights Templar, you guys got 3 seconds. The timer will go ahead and be stopped. It will be a 2v4 on this hill, but here comes the reinforcements. No, it won't matter. The AR will be taken off of the heady, but another tick won't even be captured. Actually, that's huge. A full kill and 2 ticks will be captured. And honestly, this is getting spicy, Kyle.
Yeah, best you can do there for Knights Templar without winning the attack. That is, especially on a map like this, they are looking very, very dangerous. Monolithic Gaming, I mean, that was a good first showing, but Knights Templar is so far calling your bluff. So what are you going to do? Are you going to raise or are you going to fold? That is the real question right now. And so far, not looking too good in the life department either. Knights Templar, while their KDs aren't very pretty either, I would say that they're still doing a lot better holistically in the kill department, where now Fat Bobo is holding the most of the kills, but yeah, it's been not smooth sailing so far for Monolithic. Hopefully, from the neutral perspective, they can have a solid round right here.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it earlier, though. The ARs are going to be the kings of this map, and Bobo is showing why. Even though it's tied 1-1, and KT kind of came on top of the last round, because I do have a feeling this probably will be a round 5 kind of situation for some reason. But other than that, Monolithic kind of slacking on the side of nonsense, giving up a lot of lives, 10-14, but frags 10-8, 6-16 for 2 evil. We haven't come down to kills yet, like you were saying. We were pretty kind of even on the department, but if it does come down to kills, you're looking at these players 16 kills, and when you're only winning 7 of those engagements, you know, it's just not looking too great for Monolithic. On the other side of things, looking a lot better on KT. As I mean, hopefully we can go ahead and get some motion here coming from Monolithic, because it just seems that, like, you know, they're kind of just dropping like flies right now. But maybe something able to happen here as number 5 goes ahead and makes his way on in. Mythic able to find one. He knows there's another. Not going to be able to take out number 2. Nonsense going to be able to take him out. But now D-Day with this Fafar. Will he be able to make something happen here? 2 players here. That's actually moving decently fast. That's now going to be 2 ticks. And it might actually be worth it. Maybe not. I was going to say maybe give up this hill. Yeah, I was going to say they should have just kind of gave up that hill, set up for the cross, get those 3 kills. But now it's 1:25, and the timer's already stopped. Fat Bobo making his presence known. Now going to go ahead and fall off. And honestly, it's Monolithic's looking really, really good. I feel like this round here, Kyle.
That is literally exactly what you needed in terms of a clap back from Monolithic Gaming. They say, okay, you took an objective, we'll take an objective, but this time we're going to win out on this attack, which pretty much if they're going to one-up Knights Templar, which is what they're going to need to do in this situation, they are going to do just... That's pretty much what they're going to have to do right now. But they're in a position where they can totally do it. They've got some time to whittle away the lives, and they've got the positioning to where they can dismantle the setup that Knights Templar have right now. Too evil. He's going to realize that, yeah, maybe we just overextend through here and try and get some more kills and just hold out to where the rest of my teammates can get here, but... I guess what I thought would be a potential weakness for Knights Templar is actually turning into their greatest strength. They are making those really stuck-in pushes, but Monolithic Gaming, even though they are getting kills on them, a lot of times they're doing that, they are not taking the map positioning from them like they should.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and comment. I believe it was Too Evil in that little spot there. That's not a spot you normally see, just pushed up that far, and you saw the Knights Templar guy just slide right past them, and that was a great position from there. But now we are half a tick left on this. He's going to go ahead and make something happen. Exy with a big double kill to go ahead and shut it down. 35 seconds left, 9-5 right now. Knights Templar only have 5 lives to go ahead and contest something here. But Monolithic with 9 lives and 28 seconds to make something happen here. It's looking very possible in their favor. D-Day able to find one, but Nonsense can go ahead and get the trade. And now shots going through. Will go to get taken out. Now a 3v6. Knights Templar is in a pretty good setup right now. If you're going to have any 3v any right now, this is the setup you want. Plasmid, I would only switch that with an AR, but it won't matter as long as he lands his shots. Mythic, you just got to stay up at this point, buddy. Going to go ahead and go in there. He is going to have to go ahead and find kills, but no, another player was taken out just before that. Monolithic going to go ahead and take the offense in lives.
Yeah, just like straight on through, dude. They could have gotten it either way. That was just perfectly executed attack on pretty much all fronts. Could have looked a little bit more pretty. Absolutely. Everything always can, but we're not grading it on how it looks. We're grading it on its effectiveness, and man, oh man, was it effective. Now they put Knights Templar, I was talking about in the beginning, where you can effectively put a team in a position where you have to win an offense. Winning an offense also does have that same effect as Monolithic. They win theirs, and now KT, they have to win their offense now, or they will lose.
Yeah, and I'm already wrong in my prediction. I predicted 3-1 Knights Templar, but just Monolithic had a bit of a slow start last round, but they ended up coming out positive, obviously, winning with the kills. But like you said, probably would not have mattered. Bobo going to be able to find a kill there. A good start already for Monolithic, trying to go ahead and just hold off on these hills. Bobo already on a 4 streak. And honestly, Bobo, play as passive as you want right now. If he can go ahead and pick up these streaks and just keep dwindling away at these lives, it's already 28-26. It was 29. I thought it was a bit bigger of a gap, but my eyes deceive me, and so does my memory, apparently. But But I believe Bobo still on that 5 streak. Going to go ahead and get aggressive. Mythic, will he be able to find him? No, there goes his streak. Not able to get those streaks and those kills that he needed. But now Plasmid looking to point some bullets in the direction. Able to find one. Not going to be able to find Mr. Frags as well. But there we go. I believe a tick on the A site already. And kind of just looks like Monolithic might just try and poke some fun at it. It doesn't look like they want to go ahead and go crazy just sliding in there just yet, as 2 ticks already in favor for them. Shots going through. Xe and D-Day both able to find a kill for themselves. And there you go. The A site will go ahead and be secured. And now with a tick already on B, KT's in a great position to go ahead and secure this offensive win is what they need. But shots going through. Plasmid able to find one. Nonsense also does find a player. But now I do believe that is now 3 down on the side of Monolithic. Next, you got to turn around. He's behind you, buddy. He's right there. Nonsense. We'll go ahead and find him. That's going to be 2 down on the side of KT. These ARs going to go ahead and get posted up. I believe Bobo is currently under. Nonsense does get stuck. And Templar going to go ahead and try another assault here. D-Day with this. Fire has been doing 18 and 20, you know. That's it's not awful, you know. I'm actually very surprised he's doing that well. But Xe chilling here on the hill.
Yeah, they really are. Now, Knights Templar, they've been in this position before, but the main issue is that they have more lives from Monolithic than they did before. And Mythic, he's going to be holding it down. I don't know if they're going to be really able to get back into a position where they can do anything in time before the rest of Knights Templar rush in to help out Mythic, who has cleared much space for the taking. Knights Templar, one thing that you can say is that they definitely make a lot better use out of the space so far, just looking at it objectively, than Monolithic Gaming so far. And with that attacking round win, they will also technically have more ticks in the bag than Monolithic, who on their first attack got 2 and then they got 6, so for a total of 8. Knights Templar, they got a total of 5 and then 6, so 11. So they are going to be getting this final defense. It's been looking good for them so far, but then again, Monolithic, they've won an attack already. Let's just see if they can do it again.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very upset I didn't hear my air horn for the round 5 alert there. I put that in that request with Vic and Hero a while ago. Kind of upset I didn't hear it there. I will be speaking to Vic after this one, but back to the game. Knights Templar, 3 kills already to get things started. Nonsense was the only one to find a kill on the side of Monolithic, but now D-Day in one of those awkward situations, able to catch Nonsense off guard. Now, if we can go ahead and see that aggressiveness go into yellow, like I said, honestly, Knights Templar with the AR, just the way they've been playing, has been really good. Everybody's pulling their weight on Knights Templar right now, and I do feel like that's why they're truly going to have the advantage coming into the end of things here. 2 Evil is just he's just slow right now. 15 and 29, he hasn't gotten hot yet, so he's going to have to go ahead and pick things up, as I believe that's now going to be 3 players down for Monolithic. And yeah, just, oh god, dude, they are holding them in this tough spawn trap. 18 lives for Monolithic and 25 already for KT, and 27 seconds left, Kyle.
Yeah, that is a lot of deaths to be giving away for one person, but that's not really the real issue here, Matt. The real issue is that Knights Templar, you're getting all up in their faces and they're whittling down the time. Granted, Monolithic, they are going to be taking them down a lot of the times that they do that, but it's just wasting the time. And just like that, they are in a position where they pretty much have to stack this and hope for the best. Xe, he's going to try and pull off one last amazing flank. He's set up all this time. He's been doing the flanks forever. He takes down 1, but the rest of his teammates, they finish up shot before it's even necessary, man. Not a single tick on the board from Monolithic, and that is going to be a strong, emphatic finish for Knights Templar, as a 3-0 Monolithic Gaming going to be continuing their run in the playoffs.
So, Rybo, you were not needed in this match. Your team looked pretty solid without you. I'm just kidding. All joking aside, that was just really good performance from KT going up against Monolithic. So, I mean, at the end of the day, going into this season, Monolithic had a decent season for the most part. KT was another one of those teams that were a decent team. We saw the difference between these two teams just with their records. I believe they were probably pretty similar on the negative side of things. But other than that, KT looked strong, and I feel like they kind of fighting for their right to be in the playoffs even after all that drama. They looked good. So I believe going into next week, Kyle, I do believe they play. Oh God, they play Natural Talent, don't they?
I will show you right here, right now, Matt. We'll take a look at it together. Yes, they will be playing Natural Talent. Now, the the standings of Natural Talents roster are a little bit ambiguous. Will Carl be joining them, or will it be somebody else? Don't quite know, but either way, Knights Templar, I mean, they've been looking pretty good these last few weeks. Natural Talent, they've been looking okay, but in comparison to how they usually play, I would say they've been a little bit less than what they normally are from my viewing perspective. So Knights Templar, especially with Rybo back, I think they can give Natural Talent a serious run for their money, if not defeat them. That would be the serious upset of this bracket, and I think it's going to happen. In the meantime, Hyped Esports is going to be going on to fight Heartbreakers, Valiant Gaming fighting Finale, and Rated Gold fighting the new and maybe improved Indiana Syndicate. Don't quite know. Don't even know who's on that team. It's all brand new, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, I just cannot wait for the rest of these playoffs.
Oh boy. And I really do hope the rumors aren't true about the Indiana Syndicate roster, because just that roster was so solid to begin with, and I'm very upset they did go ahead and just obviously disperse. But Valiant Gaming versus the Finale, that one's going to be obviously an interesting one. The Hyped and Heartbreakers, I know I said it as a joke earlier, and I got some hate for it, but I do believe Heartbreakers will be winning that one. But I completely agree with you, dude. Without Rybo, KT looked really good. I can only imagine with Rybo how they will go ahead and go up against this NT roster. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. That will be the true upset if any were to go ahead and happen here. I think everything else we're pretty much solidified. We think what's going to happen. The only iffy one, I guess, if old Indiana, or let's say the end of the season Indiana Syndicate roster, they do beat Rated Gold. But now if it's a new roster, I can't tell you what's going to happen anymore, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly where I'm at. The only serious question mark where I have absolutely no idea or inkling, just because I don't know who is on one of the teams, is Rated Gold versus Indiana Syndicate. All that's to come, though, ladies and gentlemen. All will be told in due time, because, I mean, they're going to have to play each other at some point this week, so you guys will know as soon as we do. Anyways, guys, we just want to end off the stream tonight by saying thank you for sticking with us and watching all this. I thought it was a great time. We saw some great Call of Duty being played tonight, Matt. It was, great stuff from both sides. Unfortunately, one is going to be taking a little bit of an early exit from the playoffs, but, I mean, hey, I wouldn't say it's undeserved for Knights Templar to be moving on at all here. So thank you to Knights Templar and all the teams that played. Thank you so much to all the viewers in the chat, and thank you to all of our good partners for supporting us, for all of the support. And lastly, thank you, Matt, for hopping in this cast with me. It was a fun time, and I will give you the final word just because that is how grateful I am.
All I gotta say is shout out to both these teams. The final scoreboard says one thing, I think the other. This was a great matchup. Both these teams played with their heart, played with the passion. Excited to go ahead and see what happens tomorrow in the rest of these playoffs. Kyle, thank you again for being the caster and producer for tonight. Shout out to all the team of K7 for doing all the hard work, and shout out to you guys, the fans, for being in chat, being active. We love to see active chats. Don't forget to like the video. And other than that, guys, you guys go ahead, have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.